Hello Leo, welcome. This is your reading for the rest of this year. So the rest of 2025, June to December. So I hope all is well with you. Thank you so much for joining me. This is for you if you are Leo, Sun, Moon or Rising. It's also for you if you just come across a reading and you fancy taking it, you're more than welcome. So it's a general reading. So just take from it what you need, leave behind what you don't. So I've got these lovely oracle cards to kick off with. They are Goddess Guidance cards by Doreen Virtue. I'm going to pick a couple of these for you, and I have got some of the Herbiary cards by Maya Toll. I'll pick two of those and then we'll dive into the tarot. So what's happening with you for the rest of this year, Leo? Seems to be that everybody is having a bit of an interesting second half of the year, a bit of a more peaceful one up to now. So let's see if that applies to you. So, Ostara, fertility. Butterfly maiden, transformation. Not a surprise because there seems to be a lot of transformation, personal transformation going on as well for the rest of this year. So let's see what cards we've got. That one wants to come out. Okay, I've got one. And we've got another. Right. So, ripple outward. And perseverance. So let's go back to these two goddess cards. Ostara, fertility. It is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas and give birth to new conditions. So a card of, one could argue transformation, because we've got some new beginnings going on, it's being spoke about in there, new stuff, very fertile. It feels very goddessy in the tarot. So I think coupled with that transformation card, that butterfly maiden, there's definitely some new starts, some new beginnings, and certainly a feeling of being able to create, actually, a really creative energy around you, Leo, for the rest of this year. So we've got ripple outwards. And we all know that one drop in a puddle or in a river, in a pond, will ripple outwards, and that goes for our energy as well, and for things that we do, the things that we put our energy into. So, are you going to use that for good, or are you going to use it for something that's not so healthy? I think there is something that you are putting some time and energy into, and I think there's the opportunity to do it in a positive way, and there's also the temptation to fall into doing it in maybe a not so positive way. I think maybe only you know the difference, and I think whatever it is that you're putting your energy into right now, it is going to have a ripple effect. It's going to have a widespread reach, for good or for bad. And I think this is all part of the transformative energy that is surrounding you at the moment, Leo. We've got that perseverance card. Obviously, it says it all, doesn't it? Don't give up. If you're on a journey, if you're trying to create something, as Ostara tells us, then again, it's very easy when things don't feel like they're going right. Maybe if you're in a lower vibration, things feel quite difficult and things feel quite blocked, then it's very easy to just not stick with it. And maybe that has been your thing in the recent past, where you've maybe given up a little bit too easy, or circumstances have caused you to put something to one side for a while. It's not always our fault, is it, when we can't stick with things, when we can't push forwards with things. Life gets in the way sometimes. But I think whatever it is that you are putting out into the world, it's you need to stick with it. You need to stick with it. You need to keep your vibration high and keep that positivity rolling, because it's going to have an effect. It's going to have that ripple effect through to other people. And I think it's very much related to something that you are creating, some transformation that you are trying to make in your life, Leo. So let's have a little bit of a look at what the tarot's got to say. We'll have 6 cards, one for roughly each month, very roughly. It gives us a little bit of a guide of when things are coming into play in the order that they're coming into play. Don't forget, if you like the reading, it'd be really lovely if you could let me know with a comment. I'd love to know what's going on with you, if the reading resonates. And also, it'd be fantastic if you could press that subscribe button and that notification button as well, or the notification option, so that you can keep up with any of your future readings. Right, we've got the 2 of Swords. We've got the 8 of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords, the Moon, and the Strength card. Right, so we'll start off with that 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords is about making choices. It's about having a fork in the road, 2 different paths or 2 different choices that you've got to make. And I think this is around this time, and I think maybe, you know, you are struggling to make this choice for whatever reason. Maybe it all feels very overwhelming, it all feels very a lot. Maybe you're a little bit rabbit in the headlights because you've got so much on, or a lot happening in life, and you're finding it very difficult to just get your thoughts together to make that choice. But there's something that you've got to look at a little bit closer. There's something that you have got to move forwards with. You know, when we sit within a space and we don't make a choice, we don't make any movement, then nothing's going to change, is it? Things are going to stay the same, and often they will stagnate. They'll feel really blocked, and they'll keep the energy low. They'll keep that vibration of yours in a lower place. And we don't want that. You know, we've already spoke about that, how that ripples out to other people. So I think if there's a situation that you've got in your life at the moment where you've got a choice to make, where you've got a decision, where you've got a bit of a fork in the road, for some of you it could be something small, for others of you it could be something really quite big, that's very emotionally charged maybe, that's, you know, very deep rooted. But you've got to make that choice, you've got to choose, make that choice, take that path, take that fork in the road, and move yourself forward, get that energy moving forwards in the way that it wants to. Because, you know, energy doesn't like being stagnant and blocked, and, you know, things don't flow the way that the universe, the energy of the universe, it flows, doesn't it? Things shift, things change, it's the way of the world. And so by not making that choice, by not making a decision, you're keeping that energy blocked. So let's see what else we've got with that card. The Fool. Yeah, you've got a brand new journey, a brand new adventure to step into. 9 of Pentacles. The Fool speaks of setting off on a brand new path. And so, although you may be scared, although it may feel a lot, it may feel difficult, you've just got to go for it. Because you've got an exciting new adventure waiting for you. Who knows how it's going to work out? But you know what? Life is all about learning. It's all about changes. It's all about growth, about expansion, about experiences. And you're not going to have any of those if you don't make the choices, if you don't move yourself forward in some way. We've got that 9 of Pentacles there. That speaks of reaping the benefits. So if you make this choice, if you take the fork in the road, then you're going to feel the benefits, I think, pretty quickly. You're going to set off on a new adventure, and you're going to see what a great choice it was, what a great idea it was, and thank goodness that you did it. You just got to take the plunge, Leo. Just got to take the plunge. And also, back over here, transformation. Things aren't going to change, and you're not going to transform and grow the way that you need to, the way that the universe wants you to, if you're just in stagnation. You need to get into creative mode, into goddess mode, Empress mode even. I knew I was saying the wrong word. Honestly, my perimenopause brain is stealing all of my words. I don't know if any of you lot are experiencing this. It's just dreadful. I seem to be losing words left, right and centre. I'm not dumb, honestly. I'm quite intelligent, generally. Right, we've got the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is all about movement. It's all about swift movement, things shifting really quickly, things changing really quickly, and also about being in alignment. So I think if you can make this shift, make this change, take the fork in the road, things are going to start flying forwards and you're going to be in alignment quicker than you imagine. Let's have a look. A couple more cards to go with that for you, Leo. Let's have a little look without trying to drop them. Right, Wheel of Fortune. It's fated change. We've got the Ten of Swords there. So things shifting forward, things moving forward in alignment, the way that they're meant to, in a fated way. The Wheel of Fortune is about positive movement towards your destiny, towards the thing that's fated for you. And we've got the Ten of Swords there. Although it looks quite a grim card, it's not a terrible card because it's the ending of a really stressful time, a stressful situation. So I think if you can push yourself into making that decision, making that choice, it takes all the stress away, doesn't it? You can release it. The stress doesn't have to be with you anymore. It's the last hurrah of that hold that the stressful situation has over you. And this card here, obviously, we've got the darkness up here, but now the light's beginning to come through because it's the end. It's the end. His hand there is also in the symbol of, in the shape of a blessing. It symbolises a blessing. So this ending of sorts, it may be an actual ending for some of you, brought about by the energy shifting, by you making that choice. But the ending and the end of this stressful time, this stressful situation, it's meant to be. It's meant to be. And you are moving towards the light. You are walking towards better things. We've got the Three of Pentacles there. The Three of Pentacles is all about teamwork, about connecting with other people, collaborating with others. Teamwork's making the dream work. Other people coming together with their different skills to create something amazing. So whatever that is for you, whether that is, this Astara energy, this creation energy, you bring in new things into life, new ideas, new conditions, new projects. I think you're going to be working with other people. Other people are going to be contributing to your new ideas, to your new projects, and they're going to be integral in helping you to give things a shove forwards. Let's have a few cards with that. Oops. I am in a terrible shuffling mode today. The shuffling's dreadful. Surprised I've not thrown them on the floor. I'm sure there is plenty of time for that yet. Okay. Page of Swords and the King of Swords. So, two sword cards, two court sword cards. So you're really starting to see things in a clear way. I think you're starting to communicate in a really strong way. And I think you are communicating with your collaborators to help bring this new thing to life. So it could be anything for, it's a general reading, so it can't be specific because everyone's got their own thing going on. So for some of you it could be work related, it could be a home project, it could be a relationship, it could be friendship stuff. But whatever it is, I think you're going to have some new bright ideas, some exciting new ideas, some maybe groundbreaking ideas, and then you're going to move forwards with it and be able to communicate in a clear, concise way, and also have all the knowledge that you need to do this. That feels quite exciting, and I think for a lot of you it is going to be work related or project related, so something that you're putting your energy into, a lot of your energy into on a daily basis. It's quite exciting, right. Then we've got the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is about holding on to something, holding on to a way of thinking, and it may be something that you've been conditioned to think, it may be something that somebody said, but it's something that you are holding on to, something that you're holding on to that's affecting you on a day-to-day basis. And I think this is related to this ripple outwards. I think you can choose how to look at something, and you can choose which way you want to take it. You know, when somebody says something to you, there's two ways of looking at things, isn't there? You know, if somebody says, oh, you couldn't possibly do that, you're not smart enough to do that, well, then you can look at that in two ways. You can look at that and think, no, she's right, I can't do that, I'm not good enough, that's not possible. Or, how dare she say that? Of course I can do that. I'm going to prove her wrong. So there's two ways, and often it's our vibration that dictates which way we go. And I think this is the ripple outwards. It's about, are we vibrating at a higher level so that it's water off a duck's back and we go, oh, I'll prove her wrong, of course I can do it. Or are we vibrating in that lower energy where we're taking, we're feeling quite delicate and we're taking on board what she's saying, and we think, well, yeah, of course she's right, I'm not good enough. So whatever there has been said to you, whatever beliefs that you are holding on to that aren't serving you, it's time to release them. It's time to let them go. Time to move forward. Time to ripple outwards in, excuse me, in the most positive way possible. Vibrating at a high level, and just sharing that light out with others, because when we're trying to move forwards, when we've got projects to work on, we've got business stuff to work on, we've got relationship stuff to work on, the way we show up on a day-to-day basis, it does have that ripple effect. And that, I think, is very much what this is speaking about. And it's very easy to fall into that lower vibrational energy and maybe give up, because we have that perseverance card. So something you need to release. You need to release a way of thinking, a way of looking at something that somebody said, and really just try and lift yourself and keep your vibration high. And when I say that, I know you might be saying, well, how do I do that? That's, it's easier said than done. And it really is easier said than done. And it's something that we actually have to put time and effort into. Some of us are better at it than others. But it's just all about doing the things that make you feel better. So whether that is, eating a good diet, not partaking in alcohol, drugs, gambling, whatever those lower vibrational coping mechanisms could be. It's about having nice hot baths, taking a walk in the park, getting out in nature, hugging a tree, meditating, excuse me, going to the gym, getting on the yoga mat and doing some stretches, going out for a coffee with your friends. All of these things lift our vibration a little bit at a time. And the more that you can do that, the more that you can get yourself in that upbeat, positive frame of mind, the more things, the good things, are going to roll towards you, and just keeping that energy flowing. So let's have a little bit of a look. The 5 of Wands as well with that one. And the 7 of Swords. So 5 of Wands is confliction. It's about feeling maybe unsettled. It's about inner conflict. It's about exterior conflict. So I think that there is this conflicting energy within you that's holding you back. And I think that you're not being truthful with yourself about something. I think maybe you are, you're trying to maybe hide from your truths, because obviously it feels uncomfortable, doesn't it, when we look at things and we're telling ourselves one thing, but really we know it's actually a different way. So I think the second half of this year for you, Leo, is going to start with you really getting yourself back on track, about getting yourself lifted, finding your inner mojo, about realising that yes, you can You can. And all of these things that have been sort of that have, I want to say, poured into you over the years. All of these, you know, thoughts, all of these lower vibrational things that have layers that have been added to you over the years. It's time to start getting rid of those, and maybe start, you know, finding your truth, connecting with yourself, so that you can have that connection to your higher self. You can find that connection and nurture that connection with your intuition, so that you can find the true you, and just building confidence, building self-worth, building a more positive and higher vibrational energy within yourself. And, you know, again, this is going to be big for some of you, it's going to be small for somebody else, but it's just, there's something I feel with you, Leo, that's holding you back. That's lower vibration. That's something that you have been indoctrined. That's the word I've been looking for. Over the years, to, you know, a little bit brainwashed, that makes you feel less than, but you're not. This is the time where you're going to start breaking free from that. And as I said, small for some, bigger for others. So we've got the moon card there. That's a very introspective card. It's about looking within. It's about release. It's about things coming to fruition and coming to the peak, you know, the full moon, and then releasing it. And the five of swords, that's about release. It's about dropping those swords, about letting it go. It's about walking away. And so I think there's going to be a lot of healing for you in the second half of the last quarter of this year. And it's time for releasing, and with any good ending comes a new beginning, doesn't it? Which obviously we've got a lot of cards of transformation, of creation, of persistence. There we go. 10 of Cups and Judgment. So I think this release energy, this introspective, this deeply emotional release that I think that you're going to go through the rest of this year, the end of this year, is going to bring you more happiness. It's going to fill your happiness cup. We've got the 10 of Cups there. So that's stability, that's security, that's happiness, that's joy, all of those lovely words. And I think this is a big emotional, a deep-rooted emotional release for you. It's something that's going to bring you, we've got the Judgment card there, that's going to bring you a brand new beginning within yourself, an ascension of sorts, a lifting of spirit, a lifting of your energy. You know, it's the card of rebirth. So a whole new you. Again, transformation, butterfly maiden. Let's read what she's got to say again. You are experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. Again, that blessing card about the 10 of Swords, that release. And also we've got here the King of Swords. The King of Swords, he's got a butterfly there. He's about transformation, looking at things in a different way. So I think, you know, it is going to be a very transformative rest of the year for you. One that involves some really deep release, emotional release for a lot of you. We've got that Strength card there. Strength card is about battling your inner lion. It's about battling that inner critic, which is what we've been speaking about. You believe in things about yourself that aren't essentially true. There may be other people's opinions that you've gathered and created layers and layers of all this negativity over the years. And now it's time for you to break free, for you to tame that lion and move on in the way that the universe wants you to. The way that you want yourself to, actually, as well. We've got the 5 of Pentacles and we've got the Emperor. So I think, you know, there's always a fear, isn't there, when we're being brave, when we're taming that inner lion, when we're trying not to listen. There's always a fear of not having something, of a fear of lack. And I think for you, this is going to be that fear that you are not good enough, that you haven't got what it takes to move forward, that you're lacking in something in some way. But we've got the Emperor card there. You are strong, you are in control, and this is about taking control of your life, of your thoughts actually, of that inner critic, and pushing it to one side and moving forwards in a really strong and powerful way, because you can do it. You are amazing, and this amazing thing that you are creating, that you are bringing into your life, whether it is just a brand new way of being for yourself, this is worth doing. It is totally worthwhile, and it's going to be life-changing for you. It's going to be very transformative. Can't get my words out again. Right, Leo, I'm going to leave it at that because I have waffled for far too long. I hope that's been helpful to you. Please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what's going on with you. In the meantime, look after yourself. Stay rooted, stay open, stay magical, and I'll catch up again with you very, very soon.